Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today let's make a corner hemostat mandala. I prepped the shirt like normal and I have it turned inside out. To fold the mandala, I'm going to grab the hem of the shirt and fold it up to the side of the shirt. Then I'm going to take the hem of the shirt and fold it back halfway. After I smooth out the wrinkles, I'm going to make one more fold on this side. I'm going to grab the center line or the area that has all the folds and turn the shirt over. Then I'm going to smooth out all the wrinkles. Now I'm going to grab the other side of the shirt and fold it to be flush with the center line. I'm going to make a second fold on this side, but before I do, I'm going to work this sleeve down inside of the folds. The sleeve will stay in place better if it's down inside of the folds rather than on the outside. For this shirt, I'm using straight hemostats, and the majority of my hemostats are 10 and 12-inch hemostats. I do have a few smaller ones, and I'm going to place one of the smaller ones right at the very end or the center of the mandala. I'm going to place my hemostats diagonally on the shirt. I'm placing the hemostats in a zigzag pattern, so I'm alternating sides to put the hemostats on the shirt. If you'll notice, I have my hemostats coated with some heat shrink tubing. That's going to do a couple of things. It will help me get a little bit tighter grip on the shirt, and it will help keep the teeth of the hemostats from damaging the fabric. I purchased the heat shrink tubing at either Lowe's or Home Depot in the electrical department. Some of it is already pre-cut, and that I'll just place over the teeth of the hemostats and then use a heat gun to shrink it down to fit. Or they have tubing which is in a roll that you can cut whatever length you would like. They make a variety of different sizes too to fit a variety of different size hemostats. I'm only going to take the hemostats up to the sleeve of the shirt. You can go all the way out to the very edge if you'd like to, but that's as far as I'm going to go this time. Then I'm going to grab the very top portion of the shirt and I'm going to start to spiral it down on itself. This part of the shirt I'm going to hold in place with some rubber bands. Because this fold is so thick, I want to go ahead and set the shirt aside for a few days and allow it to dry out completely. I don't want to apply the dye to the shirt while it is still too damp. If you have more questions about that and what my thoughts are on dyeing damp shirts for thick folds like this, I have a blog post out on my website which I kind of discuss that topic a little bit more. There's a link below in the description for my website. Before I start dyeing the shirt, I'm going to go ahead and make an ice barrier for the area that I spiraled. It's a little difficult to make an ice barrier for the area that has the hemostats on it, but I'm at least going to make one for this space. I'm using some silicone cake molds that I've attached together, and I'm going to wrap them around this part of the shirt. And then to hold them up close to the shirt, I'm going to attach some wooden clothespins to my metal rack. By the way, in the description for this video, I have links to lots of things that I use when I tie-dye, including the silicone cake molds, and I also list the dye colors that I use and links to where I purchased the dye. On the mandala portion, I'm going to use 3 different colors of red. I'm using pomegranate from Dharma Trading Company, aged wine from Dye Spin, and burgundy from Grateful Dyes. I'm going to add pomegranate to every other hemostat section. So that the dye doesn't fall off of the shirt quite as quickly, I am using the back of my spoon to smooth it into the shirt just a little bit. I have quite a few of these stainless steel lab spoons, and this one in particular has a small end and a larger end, which is kind of nice. I've also found that the dye doesn't stick to the stainless steel lab spoon quite as bad as it does just using like one of the disposable plastic spoons. I found that the static electricity on the plastic spoons makes the dye stick quite a bit. On the remaining sections, right up next to the hemostats, I'm going to place a small line of aged wine. Then I'm going to fill in the rest of these sections with burgundy. For the spiraled portion of the shirt, I'm going to start by taking shiitake mushroom from Dharma right down the middle of the shirt. I'm going to leave 2 small sections. One, I'm going to use lunar blue from Custom Colors, and in the other section, I'm using mom jeans from Dharma. Mom jeans was a specialty color, so I don't believe it's available anymore. I'm going to add a sprinkle of soda ash over the top of the dye. Then I'm going to gently place ice on top. So for this shirt, I went into the house and got some ice from my refrigerator. My ice maker makes ice that's flat on one side, and so it's really good to use on shirts like this where you can't really put an ice barrier. The ice stays on a little bit better than the rounded ice that I get in the bag. The two different kinds of ice that I used on this shirt melted at a different rate. So the ice on the spiral portion didn't melt quite as quickly. When the ice on the mandala portion melted, I came back and added a second layer of ice to that area. Then when the ice melted on the spiral portion, I came back and added a second layer of ice to that area as well. Then I just left the shirt alone and allowed it to process. I would suggest leaving the shirt for at least 24 hours after the last layer of ice melts. I went out of town though, so this shirt didn't get rinsed for probably about 6 days. So to rinse the shirt, I took it to my utility sink and I began rinsing it in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. I removed the hemostats from the shirt and I continued rinsing in hot water to rinse out any of the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. I kept rinsing in hot until the water was running almost clear, and then I put the shirt, along with some Dharma's textile detergent, into my washing machine and washed it using a hot water cycle. Then after the shirt was washed and dried, this is what it looks like. Okay, so what do you think? Well, I really like this one. You know, I love red, and so I definitely love the mandala portion of this shirt. You can see a difference between the two red colors that I used, or actually the 3 red colors that I used, but the differences are not huge. I thought there would be a little bit more difference than there was. I think I would have gotten more pop if I would have put the aged wine paired with the pomegranate instead of with the burgundy. I still think it looks cool though. I like that area of the shirt. Then the area of the shirt that I spiraled almost kind of looks like a partial starflower. Of course, shiitake mushroom never disappoints. It always has lots of cool color splits. That's where the green and some of the other colors are coming from on the shirt. And then the 2 blues look really good paired with the shiitake. You can see the area of the shirt which was on top, or where the dye is a little bit darker. But it's not horrible. I mean, it doesn't like just totally keep your eye monopolized onto that area of the shirt. So I don't think it looks bad. But there is a little bit of a difference. You can see the darker area, especially in that blue right up next to the collar. But overall, I think the shirt turned out looking really pretty. And if you guys have enjoyed watching the video, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.